This is Richmond, Virginia, and this is a private island right in the middle of the James River. And I'm going to spend the night on what just might be the most unique Airbnb in Virginia, Sharps Island. But first, I need to get there. The island sits just 400 feet from shore, so you can only access it by boat or by swimming. Thankfully, I've got my inflatable paddleboard that'll work just fine. A short 5-minute paddle later, and after fighting the current for a little bit, I've finally arrived to my very own private island for the night. And it's definitely private. This 1-acre island is fully secluded from the outside world, completely surrounded by the rapids of the James River. And tucked behind the trees is the main feature of the island, the luxury tiny cabin that will be my home for the night. Complete with a couch and a table setting for two, there's not much more you need. But the main event is up on top, your own private rooftop deck on your private island. It doesn't get much better than this. The views of the city skyline peek right over the trees to remind you that you're still in the middle of the river. And the island comes complete with a charcoal grill, a little free library, and a picnic table. There's also a Blackstone if you're feeling fancy. But I decided to cook my dinner on the old charcoal. There's nothing like grilling on my own private island next to the river, and there's even a bar to make you feel right at home. Oh, and how could I forget? Yes, there is your own private poop deck, in case you were wondering. But what I'm curious about is how all this got here in the first place. Sharps Island has never been officially designated on any Richmond city map throughout the years, so its history is rarely documented. But it turns out that Sharps Island was owned by the Sharp family, and on the island was a simple cabin that stood for almost 75 years, until it was intentionally burned down in 1968 by its new owner, who then tried to build their own structure, but it eventually washed away after numerous floods. Fast forward to 2018, when the current owner purchased the island with the idea of turning it into a unique destination for locals to escape the day-to-day life of the city. Today, you can still see the foundation of those early dwellings. And the island even has a permanent resident, named Edwards, a sculpture that sits watching over the island. And so the legacy of Sharps Island will live on as an Airbnb and a truly unique camping destination. And I need to get my sleeping bag set up. So tonight, I can either sleep inside the tiny cabin, or I can throw out my sleeping bag on the roof and sleep under the stars. But first, I need to explore the other amenities available on my private island. You can go floating on the rapids and get some epic views of the city from the water, and then maybe even take a quick nap in the tube. Then you can enjoy a fire in the fire pit while watching the sunset over the river. And before you know it, it's time to wake up. As I drink my morning camp coffee, I reflect on the amazing night I had. But unfortunately, it's time to go. I make sure to sign the guest book and jot down all the fun things I did, because I'm sure gonna miss having my very own private island. But all good things must come to an end. So it's time to begin my journey back to the mainland, back to reality. So if you are ever in Richmond, Virginia, take a boat ride over to Sharps Island and experience what I think is the most unique Airbnb in Virginia. Subscribe to see more unique and unusual things across Virginia.